20 years ago, between 1 and 4 brave wizards saved the world from certain doom at the hands of Asator, a terrible demon from another world. Now, something fishy is stirring in the fishing village of Alksmouth, and I, Vlad, Count of many things, must guide the elderly but still semi-capable wizards once more. All for that most humane of causes, saving the world!
Hi, my name is Chris, and this is a walkthrough for Magicka, the Stars Are Left.
Halde meine manur, je se ni jutta panshish, na goten jest, ja jeve ener kvest. Ni har nog hört om de fiskebörn utmen in je Norden här. Nej? Na, ni kommer nog veta allt ni vill och mer, snart nog. Passisti, folket prati om ni konstig forsfinni, skumfigurer i kusten en overväck i existent statistics i bin. Och som det vara illa nog, sa får vi var sin i lite fisk. Gi föresla, och mi föresla menar gi bägar, och mi bägar menar gi, ni vet jag gi men. Skim di till utmen och läck lite detektiv bara. Je lyckas leda ganska bra så ni ska nog klara bra. Sent reden, spetsen i morgon, nej, det duga icke ni nida gå nu. Bli!
The first thing that I will say about this mini expansion is that it's only 3 chapters long, and that was a little disappointing to me, but all of the chapters are actually really high quality. I've not noticed any bugs, well, maybe one, and I've really enjoyed it. The final boss was really well done. I enjoyed it.
Lite synd om ni inte hållit tyst. Verkligen synd. Och vad synd det vore. Om ni ej hålla tyst. Det vore så synd. För ni.
So I'll be doing a voiceover commentary because it's much easier to concentrate on playing the game if I'm not talking also. If you talk to that guy, he'll give you a bit of dialogue. It's nothing too important really. On my first attempt I didn't kill him. So to knock that spellbook down, all I need to do is charge up 5 rocks up to the full, like so, and shoot at the tree. Now I am a frost mage, so I like to freeze things, and the way I do that is to wet them first and use cold on them, and it's a strategy I use quite extensively throughout this walkthrough. So if you've got your own combat style and it's effective for you, then feel free to use it, but this is how I do it, and you may take some hints and tips from it.
Hey!
This is the fairy that's been introduced in a recent patch, and she will revive you, so it's like an extra life basically. When you go through a checkpoint, she will be revived. Makes the game a bit more noob friendly. Makes the game a bit less frustrating. It would be nice if you could turn her off though, because she does come up with some annoying hints like, maybe you should search the area to find a way through. I'm like, well, no duh. What else am I gonna do? Anyway, so there's a life staff here. If you like this sort of thing, grab it. So it's safe to say you're going to want to get out of there, and while there's archers around and bombs, you're going to want both rock and fire protection. which I'll show you in just a moment. So to get this rock and fire protection, you just cast this spell, and middle click to cast it on yourself. So if you're not already aware, if you cast Arcane and Fire on those bomb guys with a rock to project it, then you'll kill them instantly, so it's a great way to deal with explosives. Also, having fire protection on will make sure you don't die to any explosives.
Ready, Spankter, Spankter! Jawohl, ready, spank me.
Now the trouble with using frost magic, like I do, to freeze things is that occasionally you can freeze yourself and you can't have fire protection on and cold protection. So using the spells that I do, I usually have cold protection, arcane protection and lightning protection to make sure that I don't hurt myself when I cast these abilities. So you can see the fairy sacrificed herself there to save me. The general strategy for these guys, just make sure you don't get surrounded, keep using haste, keep running around, and when you get a free shot, just take it. I quite like using water to start with, because it also knocks back, and it gives you more space to run around. Out there is a cold lightning shield wall type thing. I don't know what to call it, to be honest, but I use it to keep these big guys locked in place while they're frozen. When you get a big group of 3 or 4 of them, you'll find it even more effective. So always make sure you've got your auras up that you need. So right now I've switched to my fire and rock protection because there's archers and bombs, and I end up pretty safe from all that. Now I'm just going to clean up the last couple of these guys. And that's the area clear. And this is my usual protection, which prevents me from hurting myself.
Helde igen, mina människor. Det ser om att träden faller överallt. Ni måste nu skapa geväg istället. Och när ni ändå spets igenom, ni kan lika gärna ta hand om det litet problem där borta. Lite kväll.
And this is where the game ramps up its difficulty quite a bit. But it's no higher than, I'd say, the end levels of the original Magicka campaign. It does depend how you play though, because you can get surrounded quite quickly, so if you're not fast on your feet then you're going to have trouble. Now I will say, I usually play the rogue, and the rogue moves much faster, and can also teleport out of danger using his smoke bombs. I thought for the purposes of this walkthrough I should use the vanilla robes to make sure that it was accessible to everybody, and to show you exactly how you do it with pretty much every character. There are things like the robes like the Space Marine, where he moves quite slow, but there's a whole different game plan for that kind of character.
Vi spänker der klemmekram skogsström. Vem var här? I kvällsblad. Ny två. Slippa gidra. Börja walka. More work.
So you're going to want to be fast on your feet, and as you can see I just wet the big orc there and then lock him in place. This buys me time to kill everything else. Now you may be wondering how I'm able to wet these guys and then freeze them. If you cast cold on them first, they'll try and shake off the water, but they won't do it fast enough, which gives you time to freeze them completely.
Hey!
It's always good to start off with a nice cold spell because it does knock the armor off them. Or the shield, at the very least. You don't need to knock all of the armor off if you're freezing them, as you'll see. Keep on your feet, keep moving around, don't let yourself get surrounded. You don't need to be doing damage all the time, you just need to make sure you're not getting hit. And it's also very important to keep up that aura. The way I play as a frost mage, if I leave my aura to go down, and I'll basically kill myself with my own magic. It's pretty easy. So again, you can see me pausing that guy, just buying myself some time to kill his smaller ones. And it can be used the other way around, as you saw. So now there's two of them, and I need to concentrate on doing damage. So I'm using the storm wall, which I actually came up with myself. And I've switched to the fire rock aura defense because the goblin archers are quite dangerous. They'll probably hit you even if you're running at full speed, so if you can stop them doing damage to you by having a shield on, then you're good to go. In fact, no, I've said that wrong. I use a rock and cold shield. So this is the storm wall, and this is the lightning cold wall. So if you have these two in combination and something runs through both of them, they'll not only get wet and take damage, they'll also get frozen and then continue taking damage. It's super effective. And that right there is the shield aura I mentioned, which protects you from cold and arrows. This is where I had the first trouble in this game, but once you figure out how to get the cobwebs off, it's no problem. But the only thing you'll need to do in this is add a fire aura to you. So you just cast shield and fire on yourself, and then whenever you get hit by a cobweb, just cast fire on yourself. If you don't have a fire aura on, you'll take damage each time you do that, and that can be quite dangerous. As far as damaging the spider, I prefer to use the AoE because you don't have to get too close, and I did kill him my first time using the rock, so you can just charge up 5 rocks, shoot it at him when he stops moving, and it's a lot slower, but it's still effective. So you can use a wall to prevent him from doing damage to you, or you can use a firewall to do damage to him when he tries to attack you. This is probably the toughest part you'll encounter, and trying to dodge the big spider while killing the small ones. So as long as you can stay out of danger, you need to buy enough time to get in a good position. There we go, that's where I want it to be, right there. And that's another reason why I like using the AoE to do damage to him, because his little minions will be running around quite often and they'll poison you, so it's always good to kill those. And if you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, it's always a good thing. If you're wondering where you want to hit him, so I usually just stand near his legs and I don't stay there too long, but I'll move pretty close. You have to be close enough to his head though to get it. So now he's below 50% of health, he's starting to get a bit worried. And you should start to get a bit worried too, because he's pretty damn quick. You need to be on the ball. Don't get too greedy. As long as you can get that fire on yourself, and you've got a fire aura protect, you can get the cobweb off and slowly walk away with no problem. But I found the only way you can actually damage him is to actually have haste on you. Just a few more hits left.